Welcome to the Roll for Regret podcast.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons Roll for Regret. And we will see how much regret is actually rolled today. Hopefully it's a whole bunch. Okay, so as you guys recall, the Mind Flayer Hive is older than you thought. These powerful creatures have been hiding in plain sight for just over 3 years. The tablets you've discovered revealed some of their power, enough to go toe-to-toe with the Arcane Brotherhood. And yet, it's clear that they've been attacked by someone or something which has stolen this chrono shard from them, a device which previously belonged to the Arcane Brotherhood, brought here all the way from Neverwinter with Lord Protector DeGault's blessing. The small cave you're in is just an offshoot of a larger tunnel from which you've arrived. That tunnel continues further down. So you find yourselves in this area, as you recall. It's it seems to be some kind of arcane study of some sort, or some kind of offshoot. There's a table over to the side which has some broken alchemical supplies. There's a sort of mass that's gathered on the wall, which has been opened up. Seems to have removed something from within, and you found these tablets on a shelf. There are pages and books as well.
On 2 arcane tablets.
Yes, there are these. There's, I think three of them.
Mm-hmm.
Of these, yes, these arcane tablets that seem to have strange symbols on them. And as you touch them, your mind is filled with information, and it is as if you had read a book. What are you guys up to?
Did we get the full story on everything we learned from those tablets?
You did. I believe there was... you guys touched all of the tablets, and as you recall, the first tablet referenced Id Ascent, which is the name of the Mind Flayer ship from which Linus and company had come from. You had the second tablet, which was essentially entitled Zorkul. And then the third tablet, which is some reference to this chrono shard.
Right. So I presume we're planning to go deeper.
Why? Though, why are we going deeper?
The shard? Weren't we going to... Did we... Is the shard... Do we know if it was taken back to the ship? So we'll never get it because it flies.
We don't know. That's why we're going deeper.
Okay, so
to find answers.
Okay.
All right. Do we want to take a quick rest? You all look somewhat messy.
Whatever, I think we did.
I think we already took a...
Yeah, you guys had your short rest.
We did. I'm perfectly healthy.
Oh, why didn't you tell me that? I will just...
What were you doing this whole time?
He was
I was
busy not
stretching my
sleeping
legs.
because he's an
You
elf.
not see me stretching? Gotta learn rule number 3.
Well, you know what? Fine. I will prestidigitate them to make them less icky.
I was never touched, so okay.
Okay, that works. And Orion will cast prestidigitation so that you are all no longer covered in your own blood, B, squid guts.
Njord looks nonplussed and somewhat disappointed.
Seriously? That's
Nasher's quite content and he's adjusting himself.
Did you really want to smell like raw calamari?
I mean, I smell like the plains.
Hey, it's a
Tundra.
delicacy in some places.
You can make him smell like the plains, can't you?
Ryan will tap his Nord's shoulder and just make him smell like the plains.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, if you're done with this beautification process, can we keep going, huh?
Nord loves magic.
We have to clear out the cavern to make sure the shard's not here, so we know that my parents have it. That's why we're going farther.
Also, to make sure that the mind flayers that assaulted this group did not miss any, because we don't want 10 towns to be assaulted from below,
So let us clear out this infestation.
True. These have been a thorn in our sides long enough. Even if we learn little else, We can't just leave a hive of mind flayers on our doorstep.
Yes, we throw it out back, like you do north.
And with that, Nasher will go down the tunnel.
Okay.
Doom, doom, doom.
Really quick. Before we go, I guess I'll say this in character. Nord is really quick before we leave. Did anyone have a chance to look at that mass that's over in the corner and figure out what that might be?
Let me take a look here.
So going over, you all can see. So again, it's these. They look like growths that coming away from the wall. As you recall, the walls seem to be sort of covered in these bizarre otherworldly growths, and some of this has kind of coagulated into some kind of like outcropping away from it, almost like a bulbous kind of thing. This has been sort of is opened, and as you approach, it's clearly like it seems to it's empty, but it's clearly like kind of ripped open here.
Is it like a pustule that's like burst, or is it looks like something like cut it open?
Give me an intelligence investigation check.
I will help him with that.
Thank you.
Sure.
'Cause I suck at those.
Or I can do it if you'd rather.
I would rather you did it and I helped you.
Linus, take a look at this.
Linus, what does that tumor tell you?
Well, let me take a look-sees here, fellas. It's 26.
Okay, this definitely had something in it.
Well, this definitely had something in it.
Ryan
Whatever.
gives Linus a deadpan expression.
Whatever, it's not anything like like some kind of pustule or whatever. It's nothing that seems that way. It's more of the best you can figure is it probably housed something, and then that thing was forcibly removed from the inside.
About how big is it?
On the wall itself, it's maybe about the size, probably about 2.5 or 3 feet in diameter, and it just kind of is clearly ripped open from the wall. I mean, there's really
Is it the size
it's
of a
purplish
mind witness?
color. No. A mind witness is, I think, it's like a medium creature, but this is something different. It seems to have been perhaps some kind of bizarre container, some otherworldly container that may have held something in it at one point.
Maybe it's where they stored the chrono shard. Or maybe it's the incubation chamber for the big brain.
Or it's just their dresser drawers.
There's something to this. I mean, it looks like something burst from inside, so I gotta believe this is some sort of reproductive process. Now, I don't recall seeing anything like this on the Mind Flayer ship, and as we've seen, this isn't how Mind Flayers reproduce. So, I'm not sure what this could be.
Are you proposing that they're breeding?
I'm proposing that there's something breeding, and we don't know what it is, so we need to proceed with caution.
Is alarming.
All right, so on we go. And Njord uncautiously leaves the room.
Great, let's just
Is there anything
lead
else
the
in
way.
The only thing else in the room that I don't think you guys have examined really, well, there are the letters, I think, from Neverwinter, which I think you looked. I don't know if you looked at all of them, but there's those letters. There are some various tomes that are there as well, and then there is the table off to the side that has various alchemical equipment on it.
No, I didn't really take Mind Flayer as much as recreational readers, so I wonder why they would be accumulating such literature for. Why would they need this stuff?
I mean, they're, at least according to what you described, they seem to be new to this plane of reality, meaning they need what information they can to establish their foothold. I mean, if you showed... Well, you can tell us, how did it feel when you first arrived here, being like, oh, here's a group of people in a land I have no idea about.
Yeah, it was rather strange.
Yeah, but they can't just walk up and ask someone, hey, why is that town here? What's it called?
What it called?
Can we look at the books real quick?
Sure.
Nord, get back here.
Second time.
Okay, so
You'd think he'd notice we have the only light.
you
got his
go
headlantern.
you go and examine the books. These all seem to be they kind of range actually in topic. Some of them, all of them have to do with something with time itself and various different like time magics and things like that. The books themselves seem to theorize what could be possible with time magic. Anything from bringing back like a past civilization, or crumbling a civilization in an instant by accelerating it through time, raising the dead, killing people, restoring limbs. Any number of different things really that you can think of. Increasing the construction time for items, even like you imagine a forge that can just instantly create for you a custom sword or armor.
They were seemingly trying to come up with different ways to use the chrono shard.
That seems to be the case. I mean, again, all these tomes seem to have something in relation to time magic.
Are these all in common?
They vary in language, but you guys speak a pretty wide variety of languages. So, I mean, I will presume that you're sharing this information amongst yourselves. But most of them are in Elvish. There are some in Draconic as well.
Too bad there's nothing in Goblin. Finn speaks Goblin. So.
That's all those Goblin scholars out there that never made it from Neverwinter.
Yeah, Nord speaks Giant. We have yet to, in our entire playthrough, encounter anything that speaks Giant. Except for giants that spoke Common.
That's true.
I mean, my people speak giant.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, the only person I've spoken Giant to has been Orion.
Who is no longer a giant.
Who is no longer a
Thank you for
giant.
the reminding. Right then, shall we continue before Nord completely outpaces us and gets eaten by a Gru?
I'm back.
Can we inspect the potions, the alchemic supplies?
Yeah. So you go over to the table. It's filled with beakers and lots of Muppets dancing on the table.
Get out.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I thought it, but I didn't act on it.
Gotta be quick.
I pre-partied before this one.
Resemble, I mean, it for you as you were kind of looking at it, it's filled with a lot of glassware, most of which is broken, some of which is intact. There don't seem to be any fluids of any kind there. It mostly seems there's actually like even a crate off to the side that has other things in it, potion bottles.
Any complete?
Oh, you know what? Give me an investigation check.
I'll help you.
Okay.
Let's have a look-sees here. What do we got? Come on, something good.
It's going to be a... Okay, it was 14 again. So it's going to be 18?
18. On an 18, you find there is one. So most of the vials have the corks have been kind of pulled out, and so there's various corks and things laid around. But you do manage to find in the box at the bottom, there is a vial that still has its stopper in it, and as you pick it up, that has the weight as though there's something in there. There's some kind of liquid, but as you look at it, you see nothing. It appears to be an empty vial, but there's definitely like you shaking this sloshing sound. Do you have a sloshing sound effect? Oh, okay. Some kind of like sloshing fluid or whatever in there. Good. I like that.
Orion,
yeah, that's good. It sounds like it's the sound he made was basically putting your ear up to a seashell.
I don't know what kind of potions these mind flayers might have been attempting to brew, but maybe they might be useful to us in the future.
They may not even have tried to brew. They may have stolen this.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
and to that point, to that point, you do see on the crate there is the emblem of Neverwinter, the 3 snowflakes on it.
That back.
Okay. Didn't even
What's in
identify it yet. I didn't get to cast identify. Okay. Thank you. I will try again. I will. This is going to take a little bit.
That's fair.
Do we have time? Nord's looking antsy.
I
I'm
say
ready to
just
go.
throw it in the bag and we'll figure it out later.
I will check it out next rest.
Finn has a
All right.
question.
I like that.
So the little like container holder thing in the corner that everyone's looking at, does it look like anything from Finn's past?
The crate.
Is it a crate? I thought it was like a container that looked like something bursted out of.
Oh, that thing. No, that looks entirely new to you. You've never seen anything like that before. Again, it's this sort of growth that's come away from the wall, and there's space in there. It's hollow. There's space in there that maybe it held something at one point. It has seemed to have burst forward.
Okay.
The best that you can figure with the awesome investigation roll is something was probably pulled from it.
That's fair. Okay, I should know if there was.
I assume I haven't seen it being on Mind Flayer ships or anything.
You've never seen anything like that before. It's very weird
And gross.
All right,
and
let's
super gross.
proceed with caution, Njord. Huh?
And stealthy nature,
Caution to the wind.
maybe.
Yes to the
Full
first, no to the second.
Okay.
Clink.
Well, I'm blind without light. It's impossible to stealth. Also, why would I stealth? Our enemies should know that we're coming, so they can face us head on, and we can defeat them
Because
I agree.
with might and power.
I think there are some.
There's more
times we should
glory
stealth.
in that.
We should stealth sometimes, not all the time.
What
you
about,
are welcome to stealth. I, however,
in defense of Finn's argument, this is the Underdark, and it's not.
This is just
Our
a cave.
quarry is not the only thing down here.
You are not deep enough to be in the Underdark.
Are we underground? Is it dark?
You are underground,
Underdark.
and it is dark. So if
Checkmate,
Underdark
DM.
is literally that, then
Nord
yes,
has an
a
intelligence of
Underdark.
8.
It's
He
not
believes it's the
the-
Underdark.
it could. It
Njord
is under and dark.
And I can stay back, and if you want to proceed ahead and shout back to us,
I was wrong. I didn't
No,
have
no,
a
no,
depth
we're not-
gauge.
we're not
in
doing
the
the whole
Underdark.
split
We
up
could just
thing.
Rush ahead.
We're not splitting up unless you got your little owl guy who can fly on ahead, do a little scouting. Otherwise, we're staying together.
I can call it to me, but it's last. You would understand if I'm cautious to let an owl go alone somewhere.
We can march on. We'll just march on. It's fine.
All right, we'll stay frosty, guys, huh? We don't know what we're dealing with.
But
Yes.
we defeated the Frost Rain.
Ah, yeah.
It is a
the
little chilly
jokes.
down here, I will say.
It's because it's the Underdark.
fingers are cold.
Must be a Dominopolis saying.
Nord will leave.
Stay frosty, my friends.
Nasher will follow.
All right, we'll follow that. Oh,
right.
he'll turn back and glance at Finn. I think your stealth was a good idea. They're just not the kind of people to do it.
I'm a genius, so.
And you,
We just marched
Further
down.
the five of you,
Stealthing's a terrible idea. Why would we ever stealth?
So as we go,
Yeah.
Nord, remaining frosty as his friend suggested, I'm going to use a charge from my amulet and have detect magic up because Njord knows that they came through an illusion, and if there is a magical illusion anywhere, he will detect it with his vision through the amulet.
Good.
So he's looking for other passages and doorways that could be behind illusions.
very
Also,
stalwart.
I don't know if it matters and how much you use it. My passive insight is 19.
Insight or perception?
We're
My
good.
passive wisdom / insight. This passive insight is 19.
Well, those are different things. So your passive insight would be if you're proficient with the insight ability, the insight skill.
Yep.
Then that would be one thing. Insight is particularly useful when you're engaging with people. If you're asking me to be aware of your passive perception, which is what you would be using as you're walking through tunnels and maybe keeping an eye out for things that aren't magical or whatever, that would be a different thing. So what is your passive perception?
Are you proficient?
Well, I'm just saying for all of us, so we all know that we have a passive perception because we don't use it that much, right?
It's true. Well,
So
yes.
Make sure we all know. It's like because we're higher level, right? So we need to make sure.
Yeah, who has the highest passive perception out of all of you, actually, just as I'm asking that?
Definitely me.
I think it's
Linus.
One eye.
Mine's a 20.
A 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a
Mine's-
15.
Mine's 15.
Even with one eye, few things elude you.
I just want to make sure it's like
It's good to know. So, you guys proceed down the tunnel. The tunnel does continue in a downward sort of path. And Linus, with your passive perception being what it is, you begin to notice that the walls of the tunnel seem to be changing the further down that you get. You can notice, instead of just typical cave walls, the craggy sorts of things, they're becoming smooth. And you can actually see portions here of what seem to be like laid stone, like cut stone that is sort of laid into the wall. Some kind of structure, it seems, as you are continuing downward.
Is this an Alaskan bullworm situation?
An Alaskan bullworm situation.
You know.
Yeah.
I do not know. What is an Alaskan bullworm, and how would this apply to that?
It's in SpongeBob.
It's a SpongeBob
It's a SpongeBob reference. We'll leave it at that. If you know, you know.
Listeners, if you know, you know.
Okay. Well.
She thinks she's in a cave, but it's actually the one.
Yeah. The mouth of a creature.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Well, I'll tell you what. Give me an intelligence nature check. That'll be fun. Use inspiration. Yeah, good idea.
I rolled an 8 and a 9. Love that.
Would help him.
You said it was nature?
Yeah.
13.
Not a lot of creatures that you're aware of have constructed insides made of cut stone.
That's fair.
Wait, you said not many.
Not many creatures you're aware
Have
of.
you never faced the warehouse?
Oh my gosh, that's great. But the dreaded warehouse.
I'm gonna feel the wall.
That's even better now.
I'm gonna run my fingers on the wall to feel if it's like wet or like temperature changes.
It does have a little bit of moisture on there. Just seems to be kind of condensation or natural wetness from under caves and stuff. But it does seem to be like a cut brick, or not a brick, but like stone.
Like someone made it?
Yeah.
Stone? Okay.
Yeah, like purposefully cut and laid stone.
Not a natural. Okay.
Not a natural formation.
Would Nasher be able to tell if this was similar to one of the cares in 10 towns, like
Oh, interesting.
Durinthal?
You know what? I will tell you this. Go ahead and give me just an intelligence check with advantage. Because you've been here for a while.
It's going to be a 9.
It doesn't resemble anything that was made in 10 towns. There's no buildings, town halls, or even the fortress in Durinthal that seem to be of similar make.
Okay. I don't think these stones are from 10 towners making them.
Well, there's a large Durgar fortress to the south of 10 towns. Perhaps this is an outreach of that?
These stones are laid on the, like around us pretty nice. I don't know much about stones, but I know about laying pipe back in what else? Becoming a bar.
As do I, my friend.
Again, this is just...
What is this podcast?
I also have a background in plumbing.
This is just reinforcing fine craftsmanship. Seems like dwarves.
For a mature audience.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
Can I like determine where we might be on the surface in relation to where we are underground? Am I smart enough to be able to figure that out?
Okay, give me an intelligence nature check. Sure.
It's a 19.
You figure that you're underneath the woods that are outside of
we haven't
Care
traveled
or
that far.
Dugan's Hole and Goodmead. Yeah,
It's a good sized forest, right?
It's not like it's a decent sized forest. I mean, it's not
between
like
Brinshander and Goodmead / Dugan's Hole. It's a pretty large little forest.
yeah, it's not a small woods.
And he mentioned the tunnel itself kind of curved.
It's curving. Yeah, it seems to be more or less. I mean, if you're again with your 19, you guess that you haven't gone too far north, south, east, or west to matter. You're definitely not like near the Dwarven Valley, which is far to the north, right, at the base of Kelvin's Cairn, right, which is the mountain that oversees 10 towns. But
can I tell which direction we're like heading in?
As best as you can figure. So at this point, up to this point, the tunnel has been slowly sort of curving, and so more or less maybe about 100 feet or so where the cave entrance was back at the
not far at all.
surface. Because it is kind of doing a sort of curve, a steep and slow curve. But now you're facing these constructed bricks, and the tunnel has straightened out and is becoming an actual like hall or corridor of some kind.
Do we want to proceed further?
Well, we've came this far.
All right, let's go.
As we travel, again, detect magic is up. Am I detecting anything to do with the stone? Is there any barrier of illusion or anything? Is the stone laid magically? Any essence of magic around?
Yeah.
Or
At this point, there doesn't seem to be anything magical that is drawing your attention. I'm going to go pull up real quick, though, just detect magic to refresh myself and make sure that I'm not...
What about non-magic?
that there's something that is...
I'm detecting a lot of non-magic.
You sense the presence of magic
maybe a pressure plate.
within 30 feet.
Or a random string.
Oh, and this is concentration up to 10 minutes. Okay.
apologize about that lane
So you're
pipe
probably,
joke.
by the way, rounding about the end of
Do it
your...
again.
You're probably rounding about the end of your detect magic spell, by the way, because you've been walking for, at this point, probably like 10 minutes or whatever.
I just cast it.
Oh, well, yeah. So, I mean, you can... Sure. So you've got to go on, we'll say, for another 5 minutes.
We're walking very slow.
Okay.
Because you cast it back when you were near the other cave. Didn't you? Or did you cast it
I
later than
just cast detect magic
As we went down.
after we left the big room we were just in.
that? Right. So that's what I'm saying. So you were
So
walking you've been walking for minutes.
Okay,
Is what
so
I'm
we're
saying.
walking for minutes at a time. We find this cut stone.
Right. So we'll say you've got another 5 minutes on thing. Since magic in the area is a faint aura. Okay, yeah. So, but at this point, you haven't detected any magic, is what I'm getting at.
Alrighty.
You've got again, about 5 minutes or so left on your spell.
Good deal.
Okay.
Communicate that with the group. I'm like, so far, I don't see any illusions that have reared their ugly face.
Pretty face.
Onward.
Now, as you make your way down the corridor, Nord, something does pop up for you. The corridor is just a straight tunnel. It's about 10 feet wide and 10 feet tall. And off to the left, there seems to be a portion of wall that is shimmering.
Hold on. It's a portion of this wall. I'm detecting something magical. I focus in on it. Mm-hmm. Can I determine
It's illusion.
illusion? Okay. I'm gonna go over and I'm going to interact with it. I'm gonna try to touch it with my hand.
Yeah, as you reach out and touch it, what you're expecting to feel is damp stone. What you actually feel is wood.
Someone has used illusion to make wood look like stone.
Is it a door?
I'm going to check and see.
Yeah, so you begin sort of feeling around, and you do find there is a door handle.
Alrighty.
It is invisible to you because the illusion of the stone wall seems to be sort of covering this, but you do find the handle.
I'm going to attempt to open it.
You pull the door very slowly, and
And it's a push door.
I hate them.
yeah, and as you pull, there's nothing at all. You don't feel any. It seems to be stuck.
I pull harder.
It's stuck fast.
I pull even harder.
Strength check.
Seeing him pulling hard, Nasher will go up to help him pull even harder.
Whatever happens, re-roll.
Sound guy Brandon says whatever happens, you have to re-roll it.
Oh.
So roll with advantage or disadvantage, as the case may be. What was your second roll?
The second roll was a 7.
What was your first roll, out of curiosity?
4.
Oh, okay, great.
So it made it better.
with advantage, I guess. You pull on it. It's a door, a handle that you're
11
pulling
total,
on.
But
Yeah, it's still stuck.
I try to push it.
It opens. So as you push, you fall forward and you stand. You guys watch as Njord just sort of leans against the stone wall and disappears into the wall.
I always knew this is how we'd go. Devoured by a
Gonna
stone
rush
wall.
to
Yeah,
Njord.
I will also rush.
Right behind him or adjacent to him?
Adjacent to Njord, or
Are you going
I'm
right
gonna
behind
go
Njord, or are you going to
straight
go?
after him, like through the wall?
seeing how
Okay.
he's fallen, he fell through.
He fell into the wall, it seems.
So he just went through the wall. And we're not sure what happened. Yeah, just right through.
Okay, so you guys go right behind him then?
Yeah.
Okay. Njord, you make a dexterity check.
to avoid being trampled.
4.
Okay, you fall on your face and then immediately are trampled by your allies.
No, where are you? Oh.
Linus and beat me to it. Linus and Nasher, as you guys like just rush through. So again, for you, it's like you are walking straight into what seems to be a solid wall, and then you're just standing on Njord's ass. Like, make your way.
No! Oh, sorry. Sorry about the boots. I'll step off of him if that's not clear.
Yeah, okay. You,
Judging by those,
I'm not that heavy.
you help him up.
judging by
big.
those groans of pain, shall we follow Finn?
Yeah, let me put my thieves' tools back in my bag real fast because I'm just getting those out to help. But everyone's so
The cleric
aggressive.
with thieves' tools still
You do know I
disorienting.
used to be.
I know what you used to do. It's just, it's so strange to see.
Hey, I'm weird.
It's all right. Everything's okay in here.
It's all fine here.
All fine. All good. It was just the wind.
I'm not going to go in. Did you see anything in there? Is it worth going in
Yeah.
there?
Hey, what's in the room?
Oh yeah, good question. That's a very valid question.
Nothing, it's just for fun.
All
what
is well. Giant maw of a dragon just right there in my face. Oh, I didn't see that before.
No, this is a different creature that has a front door for a mouth that you just walked. And now you're standing on his tongue.
It's the warehouse.
The warehouse is finally here. So what you're standing in seems to be some kind of armory. The room is well lit. There are torch sconces that are affixed to the walls. It's a small room, probably about like a 20 by 20 room or so, 20 by 20 feet. The torch sconces seem to be lit magically as the fire is here. And there are lining the walls what are empty weapon racks at this point, and there are a couple of chests off to the back that are closed, and there are the armor racks kind of lining the walls, and in the center are some weapon racks, all of which are empty at this point. But you're standing in what seems to be some kind of armory.
Interesting.
Is it safe to come in?
Yes.
Orion will head in.
Same old thing.
You notice all of the armor racks are something like 5 feet tall, more or less, 4.5 feet tall.
I assumed Mind Flayer armory would just be cloaks and robes, not like weapons.
What would mind flayers have to do with armor?
I don't
They
think they
didn't.
carve stone either.
Make this place. I fall back on my theory. I think this is either a Duragar or Dwarven outpost.
That's
It
pretty
simply was
sound.
abandoned.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the chests and pop one of those bad boys open.
You
Poke it first.
reach down and you touch the chest, and as you open it up, you see a strange, probably the last thing you would ever expect to see inside of a chest. What you see are what is clearly a bunch of teeth, and
Love it.
squirming within is a purple tongue that sort of lashes out at you. Your hands are stuck fast to the thing. Roll for initiative.
Finn has flashbacks of terror right now.
Somebody pick up that phone because I called it.
Asher got 18.
13 for Linus.
The name of this encounter is Mimic with an exclamation point. Okay, great. So we roll. What was yours, Linus? 13?
13.
13. Nasher was 18, I think.
Correct.
Njord?
Also 18.
Hello. Orion?
19.
19. Finn?
Finn is 8.
8. Nice, solid 8 roll. Good, I like that. Okay, so Orion, you hear the sounds of some kind of creature over in the corner.
What sounds? I'm having trouble. Oh, okay, cool.
I was going to say
Thank
the
you,
flapping of a
that
door.
helps.
Does he see what's happening to Linus?
Do you see what's happening? Oh, yeah, he's going, as he's stuck to a chest.
Oh, so the first thing Orion will do is he'll telekinetically pull Linus about 5 feet away from it. Linus, you can resist if you want.
I will not.
And then you'll just like pull you away from it, and then he will draw his Sunblade, ignite it, and actually charge up to try and put himself between Linus and the terrifying monster.
Can he pull me away before it chomps down on my arms?
Well, let's see. The mimic adheres to anything it touches. A huge or smaller creature being touched by the mimic is grappled with an escape DC of 13.
Grapples are broken when you can forcefully move something, though.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this, I think, last time, didn't we? So, you feel a tug on the back of your head as you're pulled away
hair.
from the, by your hair, as you're pulled away from
Last
the
bit of
mimic.
my
Your
hair.
hands sort of almost painfully rip away from it as you're tugged 5 feet away from the mimic itself. And then
Orion will actually move up alongside Linus.
Kill it!
Because if he stands in front of him, he'll be directly in front of the thing. So that's it.
okay, Njord.
Bonus action done.
Oh, my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. You said there's multiple chests, right?
There is a second chest.
Is the other chest moving?
No.
I'm going to throw my hammer at it.
Aegis Fang launches through the air, slams into the chest. Make an attack roll.
Which way's the chain facing?
The chain.
Yeah, on the chest. It's either
28.
A 28 hits the chest. Roll damage.
Dark Souls, you can always tell when it's a mimic chest because the chain's facing a certain
Oh, you guys are making references I'm not aware of today. You guys are very off my reference radar.
That's going to be a 23 damage.
Your hammer slams into the chest. It explodes in a flurry of wood, and then returns to your hand.
Wonderful.
All right.
Great.
I confirm that's not a mimic.
You got one.
It was hand-carved mahogany.
Njord, not knowing what mahogany is, throws his hammer at the mimic.
Kidding me? Nice. If you know, you know.
18.
18 will hit. Goes and rolls some damage.
I feel like Nord would know what mahogany is. Seems like a wood guy.
Imported.
He has 2 damage to the mimic.
Okay. Anything else, Njord?
That is 2 attacks. He is done.
Nasher.
Nasher will, seeing his friend almost in peril and being deftly saved by the wizard, he will charge forward, drawing forth his longsword and hammer, and begin waylaying the mimic toothy maws.
Get him.
Oh, recklessly.
Recklessly.
18.
An 18 will strike the mimic.
Okay. It's gonna be 5 damage. First attack. Then with the hammer. Another 18. Well, actually, that's 21.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Number to beat is 12.
Fantastic. All right. Another 5.
Yeah.
Bludgeoning. Once more. 24, and that'll be... Okay, that's a little better. 8 more, so 18 damage total.
Okay.
And then, how far into the room did I move?
It's a pretty small room, so you moved, if you were standing somewhere near the entrance, you moved like 15 feet.
Okay. I want to position myself. Can I get behind it? Or is it against the wall?
It's against the wall.
Okay, then I'll just move away 10 feet.
That will provoke from the mimic.
Mobile.
All right, it's going to attack you.
No, mobile.
Oh, you have the mobile feet, right. Excuse me. I thought you were just mumbling. Just mumble. Sounds good, or so I don't know what you said. Okay, so Linus.
How far away did he pull me?
5 feet. So you are 5 feet away from the mimic.
So I'm still, like, within range. Melee. No.
Yeah, I mean, if it, makes a hop towards you.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to launch a firebolt at its face.
Yeah, get him.
You think that's funny, you little chest freak? That is a 25.
Yeah.
It's no way to talk to a lady.
It's a female?
Gosh.
16 fire damage.
That almost was like, I don't even have to do that anymore. We got awesome sound guys on the job. Anything else for you, Linus?
I will back up further behind my companions.
So you very quickly release a blast of fire and then scurry away behind everybody. The mimic is snarling and very upset about everything. Finn.
I'm just going to toll the dead it.
Okay, so it makes a con saving throw here?
Wisdom.
Oh, wisdom.
17. So roll damage.
It fails the wisdom saving throw. Go ahead and roll some damage. 3d12 because it's
oh my gosh.
it's wounded, so it takes extra damage from being wounded.
Ooh.
Do mimics bleed?
They do, in fact.
Do that.
Or do they? Well, this one does. It's bleeding. And it's on
They're
fire.
not
Be ichor?
constructs. They have blood.
Yes. 21.
21.
They bleed gold.
The sound of a grim bell fills the room, and the mimic seems to sort of crumple before you and falls to the ground dead. Its tongue and its last death throes just kind of and lays to the ground.
Ryan will turn. Thank you, Finn.
You're lucky the bells didn't toll for you.
Yes, because everyone else left me in the front, and I am a squishy wizard.
Fine. I hate mimics so much. I saw
Me
nightmares.
too. That's messed up. I hate those things.
Guys, this one wasn't a mimic.
Nice.
There's a baby mimic.
What?
Much easier to kill.
No,
I mean-
but it was beautifully crafted.
Fine mahogany. You monster.
Good job, Njord. You got one.
Who's the monster, really?
Mahogany.
All right. Well, is there anything else we should do here?
Is there anything in the pile of debris where the chest was?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Okay.
I was going to do the same thing, so can I help him?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll with advantage.
It'd be 17.
You begin to sift through the debris, and you find within it there is what is clearly a helmet, and there is a suit, like a chain shirt, both of which seem incredibly old and tarnished from being very
A
old.
human-sized helmet? Or
A helmet size for a medium creature.
Oh, okay.
Do either of them glow with magical energy?
You focus your detect magic at them, and neither of them glow with magical energy.
Do either of them look really cool?
Okay, so the first one seems to be a rather stout sort of steel. It's not like a tall helmet, really. It's very short and would fit on like a
Medium
squatter kind of head, and it seems to have like almost like ram horns carved into the side of it. The chain shirt is far simpler. I mean, it really is just a chain shirt. There is a metal sort of covering on the shoulders that has a similar kind of like ram's horns kind of carved into the shoulders of it, where the chain kind of falls from.
So now she's going to take the chain and just kind of shake it and pull on it real hard to see if it's got any durability left to it, or if it's so old it's going to fall apart.
With your experience, with your martial proficiency, you wouldn't trust this to stop any kind of blade.
Okay.
Can I examine it further to see if I can tell, like, the craftsmanship, if it's, like, dwarven?
Yeah, okay, give me an intelligence, we'll say history.
It's an 11.
Well, in your experience with 10 Towns, it definitely seems dwarven make. 10 Towns is a pretty solid relationship with the Dwarven Valley, and there are some dwarves who live there. So, you have the black iron blades, right? You're friends with the what's his name? Anyways, the dwarf man who runs the black iron blades, and you recognize the craftsmanship. It's definitely dwarven in make.
This definitely looks dwarven, but does anyone recognize this ram symbol? Anything you guys have encountered before?
Is it something I have encountered?
No. Being a Regedman, it doesn't seem to be anything that's familiar to you.
While they were busy looting the smash chest, Ryan would like to investigate the mimic. He's heard rumor that sometimes some of the things that on people that they eat remain behind, and so he's just kind of using a mix of his hands and his blade to kind of like just kind of see, did it eat anything of value that's remained?
You'll give me an investigation check, sure.
Okay. 9.
There's a lot of gore and guts there, and as you kind of like sift through, it's really gross. And your blade gets stuck occasionally to it because it's still kind of adhesive and gooby, so...
He will turn off the blade and then...
You're using the sun blade? I thought you were just using like a rapier or something. The sun blade. I don't even know can it move stuff like that? Can you even sift things? It's like an energy blade kind of, isn't it? With radiant energy? I don't even know if you can do it with that.
It does radiant. It's not technically like a lightsaber. It does radiant damage, but... I mean,
yeah, but
the blade isn't a solid object. Is what I'm saying. If you grab the weapon, if you grab the blade with your hand, can you even touch it? Is the question, or does it just sear your hand with a radiant?
I presume you can.
Imagine
when you extend the blade, it functions like a longsword.
I don't know. It's made of light, right? So you're saying that it's made of light, but it has enough energy to move things.
I mean, it doesn't actually sear things.
I'm just saying that sounds pretty
questions of D&D.
D&D Physics 101.
What is radiant damage?
That is a good question.
It's not
the power
plasma.
of the
That would
sun.
be burning.
I will say that, sure, you can use your blade to poke at things, and you don't find anything useful in the guts of the mimic.
Like,
I will
that's a lot of
prestidigitate
power.
myself clean.
What is radiant damage? D&D Psychology 101.
If you know, put it in the comments. Someone out there knows what radiant damage is, besides just a damage type. Put that in the comments.
All right. Anything else exciting in this room, other than Linus making a new friend?
Is there anything of note in the room? Everything looks to have been ransacked.
Yeah, why was it hidden from us?
And why was it ransacked? Why is nothing here?
Can I investigate the room itself, like along the walls, hidden switches, stuff like that?
Yeah, sure. Give me an investigation check.
I don't trust you anymore, Dice. You're going over there. Much better. So that is a 26.
Orion, as you begin to examine the walls, you notice in between to the wall on the right of the door. You notice, by the way, when you turn around, that it is just a single wooden door that's kind of in the center of the room. On this side, it's not an illusion; it's just a door. However, Orion, as you are examining the wall to the right of the door, you do notice that there is a one of the stone blocks just sticks out from the rest just enough, and as you press against it, you can hear the grinding of stone, and a small doorway opens up. It's only about 4 feet tall or so, and as you kind of kneel down, you can see within here is a smaller chest.
Orion, you're
It's
a
like
genius.
really just a small pocket in the wall.
But after you this time.
I see how it is. Orion will examine the chest. Does it have a lock on it or a latch?
There is a latch with a lock.
Okay. Presuming the danger is past and also possessing innate wisdom, he will simply try to flip the latch and pull it and open it.
Well, it's locked, so there's a lock built into the chest.
Oh,
Time has
Finn,
come.
Finn, could you come over here? I have a request for you.
Did you check it for traps?
Traps?
Yeah, traps.
He looks at you somewhat confusedly. Why would they trap it? It's a hidden chest.
That
They
sounds
really
like,
don't want you to open it.
But that's the exact reason it would be hidden. So, I mean, why trap?
Well, do you only use one level of precaution?
Yes.
It's very straightforward.
Okay. Well then, have at it.
Yes.
I password protect, but I don't have the backup email.
Of course not.
My two-factor authentication is a baby dragon. I don't know what you're worried about.
Finn's gonna cast Death Ward on himself first.
Here, let me take a look here.
Put my bag down.
Do I even have thieves' tools? I don't think I do.
Well, I think
I'm
Finn's
going
going
to
to
my
do
bag and pull out my thieves' tools.
it. Okay.
Who's got thieves tools?
Not calling
That's
Finn.
why I asked for
Finn gets out his thieves' tools
And
and
try to open it up.
give me a dexterity check with your proficiency bonus.
There's a very loaded click.
4.
Dwarven made locks can sometimes be very tricky, and as you're kind of fishing around in the lock itself, it's you would think at this point a little bit beyond your skill.
The lock is rusted shut.
Really?
I have a hammer.
I have a bigger hammer.
Yeah.
I'll let you take a whack at it, though.
If at first we don't succeed, get a bigger hammer. That's what Mom always said.
Walk away.
Now, Aegis Fang, is it like a crafted hammerhead, or is it like a big rock?
It's not a big rock. It is a crafted weapon.
It's a northern weapon. You
like
know,
we're
it
playing
could just
the
be a
Zelda
rock
game.
they found that was magical. And they're
They
"This-
fused
this
it
can
to
go
a
on
stick."
Let's
Wait,
go on a
actually,
stick.
that's a great question. Is it a brick on a stick, or is
No.
it actually a warhammer?
You know
It's
what?
an actual warhammer. It is actually, it has like a silver head on it. It is
Okay.
made completely of metal. There's a spike off the back end of it, not typically used for actual combat, but more as a counterweight to the head so that it can be thrown. Making it a thrown weapon, but it is a two-handed style weapon,
Yeah.
but Njord wields it in a single hand sometimes.
What if I placed my hammer on the lock and you hit my hammer with your hammer?
What would that do?
Well, it would make sure I didn't miss, and it would apply a lot more force.
No, go for it. You're a capable warrior. You can hit a lot.
Nasher has some experience with vices and hammering on things, but that's fine. He'll just go ahead and swing at it then with his hammer.
Sure. So go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay. Recklessly.
Just sure. Just get advantage. It's a stationary object.
It's going to be 17.
You
Well, I'm trying to pinpoint the lock specifically. I'm not hitting the hole.
sure. You go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Two-handed. Okay, that's going to be 11.
Yeah, you smash into the lock itself. Finn, you now have no hope of picking this lock as it's been smashed. You didn't
Mangled.
like break it apart, but you left a nice hammer-sized dent in the front.
Is the lock on the ground?
No, the lock was built into the chest. So as you smash your
Is it open now?
No, but as you smash your weapon into the chest, Finn, you look at that and you realize with the force that he hit, there's very little hope that any of the mechanical inner workings of the chest is still
Could've
functioning.
used that to practice. That's fine. I'll allow it.
It's okay.
It's fine.
It's okay. You're like Eeyore. I could have had.
Does anyone have a
I'll hit it again.
Okay,
Is it-
roll for more damage.
It's wooden chest.
You don't have to attack. You can just hit it. Huh?
It's a wooden chest.
Yeah, more or less. It was finally crafted.
I'm backing away, by the way. I'm backing away. I don't like chests.
Okay.
Finn was eaten by one. So.
It'll be 12.
Yeah. So at this point, the chest does pop open inside the little room as you smash the lock with your hammer, and it just kind of pops open
Before
now.
he can realize what's happening, I'm like peering over his shoulder, looking in. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Hey,
Shoot!
Let's
hey,
see
that's
what
first.
is inside it.
I saw it first.
Okay. Do me a favor. Roll a D100.
Ooh, gold.
Transmogrified into a
It'd be
rabbit.
like, roll high, 100% of the stuff is damaged. It's just going to happen.
17.
There was a nice, what seems to have been a Fabergé egg that has been broken into 17 pieces.
No.
Mend.
Tell me you can fix this.
I don't have the.
This looks expensive.
I walk over to it
True.
and touch him from him, cast Mending.
Yeah, you can probably mend it back
Piece at a
together.
time.
Yeah, if you.
I'm sorry. Got a little ahead of myself.
You do notice, however, amongst all the rubble and the pieces, as Finn is carefully taking the thing apart, there is a ring that is sitting in there as well. That is kind of amongst the debris.
Before Linus can grab it, I'll go ahead and grab it myself.
You guys are like fighting over stuff. That's so great.
Okay.
There's been a ring scenario before, okay?
Yes.
just wanted
Involved a
to.
volcano.
No, yeah, right. I lost a finger.
I read that book.
It was a big deal.
Okay, how about I can identify it at a later time?
Put the ring on.
Okay, hold on a second. I can. I think I can describe the ring to you.
Staring directly at Orion.
Was it moi?
You guys are so funny with treasure. You know what I should do is give you even more treasure and watch you fight
Cursed
over
treasure?
more things.
As funny as Finn will
We
never take
fought
any
over
of it.
very little. Typically, we just kind of, let whoever got it first get it.
All right. Well, the ring itself seems to be made of what appears to be a kind of chain, and there is at the center of, or at the top of the ring, there is a blue, almost like a sapphire, but clean, but lighter than a sapphire, like a rectangular gem, and it has what seems to be like a chain going around it, or kind of fastened from one side to the other.
Okay, yeah, I'm not actually putting it on. Nasher will, of course. Is Orion the only one in here who does the magic inspection thing?
I can do the magic inspection thing,
The ring does glow with magic.
The ring is magical.
or I can do the identify thing if that's what you're getting at.
Can I focus in on it and see what kind of magic?
Yeah, what'd it do?
It is, we'll say, transmutation magic.
It's expensive.
Transmutation.
That sounds frightening.
Or enchantment. Well, and transmutation.
We're going to stick with transmutation.
Is that what the god's telling you?
The insight that Tempest has given me into the nature of this thing, yes.
Transmutation sounds dangerous.
Again,
Who would like
I've
this cursed artifact?
I did find it. I will at least identify it, and we will assign it to whoever it most appropriately can be used by. How about that? Is Smart's choice.
Well, if they went through all the trouble of hiding it, it's probably powerful.
That sounds fine to me.
But
you
we
don't
will
need to convince
identify it before anyone dons it.
Sure, you can,
gives-
as long as you fund this whole operation.
Sure.
Doesn't identify cost money?
No.
Oh, I think it has it might have a component.
A pearl worth at least 100 gold pieces.
I've used it before. I've got the pearl.
Identify?
Does the pearl
Yeah.
get consumed?
No.
it's material.
Think of it like a
Right.
channeling tool.
So you've
Oh, okay. So you. Oh, I see.
Well, have at it. It
you
looks
just have to
important.
have
Yes, but I don't.
the pearl. Okay.
I would have to cast it ritually, which takes some time. And do we have time?
Well, we don't know if we don't have time.
We don't have time right now. We were
Exactly. We don't
exploring
know if we don't
a
have
room
time.
I'll
behind
hold
an
on
illusion.
to it, and then we can take a look at a later time.
I finished the
Oh,
egg.
that makes me
You
nervous,
have
but
a
it makes
ring
me
already.
nervous.
My hands are naked.
I've got 10 fingers.
Uh-huh.
So
And they're
with the
all
egg.
sticky.
So the egg is red
speaker.
with gold filigree kind of carved into it. You can also see bits of platinum in there as well. They do come into the shape of like ram's horns on either side as well. In the very center of it, so the ram's horns themselves are platinum, and it comes together into like a gold ram's head at the front. And it sits on built into it is a golden frame that it would sort of stand on. Very nice.
So with the egg. Bag of holding? Or is
I mean, you put the effort into fixing it.
I don't care. I want it.
You are poor. Didn't you complain about
I
having
am
no money?
rich in spirit. Thank you very much. You want it? Here you go, Linus.
Self-inflicted injury.
I give it to Linus.
Linus has the party pot, right?
I do not.
Oh.
I just want it.
No, I'll have it then. I carry the party pot typically when we're together.
It's true.
It's true.
Bag.
It's true. He has the party pot.
It's
Fine, I'll give it to him.
Okay.
Reluctantly.
Use your
Hey,
staff.
Nord.
Linus, don't you normally tell Walter to carry all the heavy things anyway? In his absence,
Yeah. We use Orion.
I don't do
Yeah.
that anymore. I'm not big.
Yeah, you're pretty big.
Okay, yes.
All right. We've lingered here long enough. Shall we continue?
Nord, I have a question.
We can sort this out later.
I really know what the
In your
ring
bag
does, though.
of stuff that you've collected, do you have rare incense and a ruby powdered ruby worth at least 1,000 gold pieces?
unfortunately not. No. I only have what we've collected on our travels and have agreed to share and share alike. But
fair.
so far, none of you over the past 3 years have claimed any of these items for your own personal use or for the use of the group as a whole. So they remain in my bag.
That's fair. I don't know what's in there, so.
I have
we
a
were
plethora
gonna-
of things. I can go through the inventory when we decide to bed down for the night, let's say.
That's fair.
All
We
right.
were supposed to go to our inn, but if we all remember, that is no longer a thing.
I built it back up. The White Moose Lodge is a thing now.
Is the White Moose head there?
Yes. It was really cold. It preserved it quite well.
Very nice.
Should have known this. Yeah, let's continue.
Yes.
You guys are continuing down the tunnel now, the corridor, really, as you've learned now. Okay. As you are going down the corridor, you realize you are coming across what is a veritable maze that is here. It is... The corridor seems to open up into a larger corridor that is about 20 feet wide at this point. The ceiling curves up into an arch, and you can see there are tunnels that are going off in other different ways, other corridors. And it's not just a single corridor opening up on the left and the right. You are entering what seems to be some kind of larger grand hall that has maybe 8 corridors on either side, stretching into different directions. And at the very end, there is like a large stone double door. So you find yourselves, we're back. You find yourselves in this large corridor. Again, there is at the far end, and it's maybe like 100 feet or so long. At the far end, directly ahead of you, are double doors that are made of stone. And on either side of this corridor are 8 passages. Each side, the left and right side, both containing 8 passages that seem to go further down. And as you guys are walking with your torch and light spells, lighting the way for you, you can just see that the tunnels seem to kind of go down, into darkness on either side.
I'm going to cast Eyes of the Grave. So I know the location of any undead within 60 feet that isn't behind total cover. It isn't protected from divination magic. Just so we don't walk into like a pop-up scenario.
Sure.
So I'm going to cast that.
Yeah, you don't detect any undead at this moment?
Safe and sorry.
Yeah.
We've walked through the corridors, past all the open rooms.
You guys at this very moment are standing on one end of this long, 20-foot wide, 20 or 30-foot tall hall, we'll call it.
Okay.
On either side are several corridors, which, as your light spells and torches just reveal, they go on past into the darkness, past the range of your light. But at the far end are a pair of 20-foot tall stone doors that are at this moment closed.
Do we want to inspect the different paths here, or do we just want to continue straight forward?
We can glance as we go.
They're pretty far down. They extend past the range of our light.
Has my detect magic, is it continuing at this point or is it dissipated?
With you guys like searching around for everything, I'll say it's probably about done, or maybe on your last minute.
Okay.
But it's basically over at this point.
Okay.
Orion would like to look for any sign of words, text, scrolls, basically identifying marks for this hall. Clearly, it was organized and it was built by someone.
Yeah. So as you look around, it's not hard to, with your passive perception, it's really easy just to find as well, but it's not hard to see that on the stone archways, on the stone archways leading down the various different corridors, you can see that there are dwarven letters that are carved along the along the arches. You can read dwarven, I think.
I'm just pulling that up on my sheet right now. If you'd like, I can't remember. Common Elvish Giant. Does anyone here speak Dwarven?
Well, I can. I'm just going to cast Comprehend Languages because I'm just reading it.
Sure. So you cast Comprehend Language. I don't know why I was waiting. Waiting for you to tell me that you cast a spell, which you just told me. As you cast Comprehend Languages, you can see the Dwarven script becomes legible to you. The different corridors seem to be labeled. These ones on the left, like the first few of them, say mine. They seem to be pointing towards the mine.
There it is. I was waiting for that.
The other ones here, you can see reference like a forge. On the other side, you can see what their named locations that the best you can gather are like living quarters of some kind. One of them points to like a barracks. And then the grand doors on the far end of the corridors, you can see is written in Dwarvish, "Welcome to Durinthal."
I will relay that information to everybody.
Durinthal. Can I do a history check?
Yes, you can. Intelligence history, if you don't mind.
Okay, that's 19.
You recognize the name from some text that you received in trade from a dwarf from the Dwarven Valley. Durinthal is apparently an ancient, like an ancient fortress, aeons past, of when this fortress existed. It is long thought to have been. There's a lot of rumors around it and speculation, but it seems all the texts seem to indicate that at one point it did have some presence on the surface, and everyone knows that it was a very deep fortress. But now, again, with the years that have passed since its existence, it's gone. But it was in this region the prominent dwarven location years and years ago.
This is the ancient lost dwarven fortress of Durinthal.
It was known. Okay, I can give you a little more information because you rolled a 19. It was known for forging, creating powerful armors and weapons.
It's known for being a producer of magical arms and armor.
Interesting. And the Mind Flayers chose to set up shop here.
Did they just find this place by accident?
I don't think they did anything by accident. They chose Dugan's Hole as a place to arrest the people and coerce them or change them into themselves and make them their slaves or a member of their group. They delved into the earth and probably found evidence of dwarven sanctums and specifically sought this area out.
Well, the chances are small. Perhaps we should at least quickly check the armory to see if anything remains. I mean, they were known for magical arms and armor. Nasher, you and I will quickly go check.
Well, wait a minute. I don't like splitting up everybody. Last time we did that, Orion, it didn't work out so good.
You all showed up. We stopped the gears.
Well, the last time before that, when you died, is what I was referring to.
Oh, again, that reminder.
Orion and I have worked together well. I think we'll be all right.
All right, but if you guys die, I'm going to kill you.
I won't die.
That's fair.
Okay. You guys head down the corridor labeled Armory, making way further down. The tunnel is a lot longer than you thought it was originally. And as it comes to its end, you can see that there is a sort of a passageway, no door, just a single arc. And as you make your way into this area, it's probably about like 100 feet or so, and there are it's peppered with almost like a jail, honestly, in a way, where there's several different doors along the corridor. Each of these doors, as you open them up, none of them are locked, and as you open them up, they're filled with similar to what you saw before, with weapon racks and things of that nature, all of which at this point are empty, bizarrely. However, when you get to the end, you can see that there is an arc that is opened up, and you are beginning to hear some mumbling. It sounds like there's something down here, and it's a voice going, mine, all mine, yes, yeah, all together. And as you kind of peek your head into the corridor, or into this large area, you can see that it has several other offshoots that go into other places. The original corridor you went down is near the forge. The passage leading to the forge. So, and you can see similar dwarven script that seemed to point to a forge. But gathered in the center of this place is just a pile of equipment. There is armor, weapons, axes, hammers, helmets, greaves, pauldrons, like everything that you would want to wear as a soldier. And floating nearby is something that you saw some kind of weird mimicry of before. It's relatively large, something like 8 feet in diameter. And it has several stalks coming away from the center of it with eyeballs on them. Its back is currently to you. You can't see its face at this moment. But it is kind of peppered in what seem to be sort of horns and other kinds of things, on which are it's actually like seems to be almost decorated with gauntlets and other things.
And I've seen a bunch of helmets on each of the eye stalks.
Yeah, like some of the eye stalks have helmets on them, but you can see this thing kind of floating there, and it seems to be sort of facing its attention to this pile of equipment.
Ryan will swiftly grab Nasher and using his speed haul him back. If we're going to go this way, we must talk to the others. Or not.
Nasher, not speaking, is just gonna kind of gesture at his mouth and say, "Point down that way," as if to say, "Cast message."
Have that spell.
Hey, Linus, what do you think the odds of them dying and capturing
They'll
something
be
again?
fine. They're capable
They've been gone
warriors.
for a while.
What are they going to face that they could possibly not deal
Dust? They might be sneezing.
So while
Allergy attack.
while they're gone, can I is there any crack in that those two doors, the double doors? I think you said. Mm-hmm. Are there any cracks in between the seam where the doors, or keyholes or anything I can look through?
There are portions of so that's a good question there. At the seam where the two doors meet, there are portions that have sort of the stone that have sort of fractured and fallen away, and you can peek through the other side. On the other side, you can see is some kind of larger chamber within.
I'm going to put my ear on it to see if I hear any voices or anything inside.
Sure. Even with your passive perception, you can hear you hear what sounds like a bubbling of sorts. It reminds you of the cauldron that you had the stew in. A sort of not near consistent bubbling, but some kind of bubbling from within.
Can I smell anything?
There is a strange sort of the strange smell of putrefaction.
Finn, come on.
Just kind of in the air.
My mouth was open.
It's not a pleasant smell. It actually reminds you a lot of the smells and sensations you had when you were aboard Id Ascent.
There's something going on in there. I'm gonna lower my voice, volume wise, not deeper. There's something I hear bubbling sound, and it doesn't smell too good.
Linus, are you talking to us? You're way over there.
Njord is right next to him, just listening. Finn's the only one who's in the distance.
I'll say to Njord, who is right next to me. Do you smell that? It wasn't me. I feel like it's bringing back memories. It smells like something I smelled on that mind flayer ship. I don't know what it is though. Just a smell.
We'll call it the smell of mind flayers.
It smells. I don't know, like mind flayers.
It's a smelly smell that smells smelly. Yeah.
Well, we could look in on it, see what's waiting for us on the other side.
Oh, you mean open the doors without Nasher and Orion?
We're capable warriors. We can handle it.
I don't like this. It's never a good idea. We don't know. It could be anything over there.
Exactly. It could be anything.
Well, why don't we just
It could
wait?
be a boat.
Hello, it's
Well,
Finn. I'm here.
Be a boat.
Don't do that. I hate it when you sneak up on me.
Back in my old ways.
The suspense is killing me. I want to know what's beyond.
Well, let's just wait a minute and make sure our friends are okay, and then we can decide as a group.
They're fine. There's nothing that we have ever faced that they could not deal with.
Do you think Orion hates us or is trying to get Nasher killed?
He has
Or
been
why
kind
would
of
you
weird.
say that?
Well, he took Linus off by himself to go fight the Gith, so maybe he's trying to kill.
Well, actually, he kind of
fight
just
the-
left me on the Griffin and just
exactly
went
trying to get
crazy.
you killed. Now he walked away with Nasher, so he could be like sabotaging one of us at a time or something. I don't know. I'm just.
This is
I don't know about
Orion
that.
we're talking about.
Why didn't he take all of us then?
He does seem a little reckless. I mean, he's got a point.
What do you mean?
He knows the power of all of us, right?
Yes.
Why didn't he take all of us down the hallway?
Because each of us is as powerful as anyone. We've fought a real. Like, we can handle ourselves.
Well, we all fought a real, not
Okay, I
the
mean,
two of them fought a real.
we're pretty strong. I mean, we are the Iron Wolves, but I mean, Orion died. Did we just forget that happened? I mean,
He got better.
he did, but it doesn't always work that way. I mean, hey, I've lost people. I know you've lost people. It happens. We can't just keep doing this reckless thing. And Orion seems to keep. You know what? Let me just say, I'm against the breaking off of the group. We need to stay together. The Iron Wolves are powerful alone, but they are more powerful together. We need to stay together.
I'm glad you see it that way.
Great. So I made the decision, and we're going to do that from now on.
I agree.
Yes, you totally made that decision.
We did. The three
As
of us.
the leader of the Iron Wolves. I hate to
The
pull
one of
that
us.
card, but
Njord gives you a very knowing look as if to say, you came to the conclusion I wanted you to come to.
I am the brains of the operation after all. Not that you guys aren't equally valuable to this whole operation.
Oh no, I'm stupid.
So you guys come back. Okay, so Ryan and Nasher make their way back down the corridor that led to the armory.
See, I told you they would be fine.
Ryan skids to a stop. Beholder.
Behold what?
Her who?
Nope.
Behold her, I hardly know her.
Oh my gosh.
Orion just turns and points down the
Hold on,
corridor.
kiss.
Be my guest.
Inspiration for you
There you
from
go.
the DM.
Oh yeah, we got to do that.
Yeah, you guys forget you can do that. I'm holding out a bunch of inspiration tokens that, for those of you listening, the way that we give inspiration around here is the players are supposed to assign it to each other. They often forget, though.
We're just so in it. Well, yeah. Why were you freaking out?
Okay, it's an actual beholder, not the mind flayer possessed or reconstructed one. A true beholder. It's sitting on a pile of weaponry and armor and equipment, which probably has maybe some piece of magic enchantment in it. Yes, but it's a true beholder.
Great. See, this is
It
why
didn't
we don't
see
want to
us
split
as far
up.
as I can tell,
I agree, Linus.
but it's scary. It's dangerous. We have to approach it with a reasonable sense of tempered understanding. That is
Maybe we can talk to it.
It sounds like an abomination.
aberration. You are so close.
By the way, Linus smelled like something old man on the other side of the door.
What is this putrescence you keep talking about?
Well, it's like the best way I can describe it is a mind flayery squid smell. I don't know. I smelled it on the ship before.
Seafood?
See, there it is.
Fish.
Ship smell. That's descriptive. That is a
Not just
helpful
any
mark.
ship. I mean, I've been on ships. I've also
Rotten fish.
I've been on a whale. Did not smell like this.
You're right. That smelled of brine.
This is like it's a distinct smell. You guys know from fighting the mind flayers. I smell that, but I also hear like a bubbling sound as if they're conjuring. I don't know, cooking. I don't know, something over there.
I don't like either of these.
Let's just push open the door. We're here.
With a beholder around the corner. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
It's the same thing with something else on the other side of the door. If we go to the beholder, then we're there just pincered in a hallway. So
I say we split up.
I say we split up.
Absolutely
I'm kidding.
not.
I'm kidding.
3 of us go fight the
I'm
beholder.
joking.
I don't know. It seemed like a good idea.
Let's send one at a time in to fight the beholder. Just single
Like it's in a
file,
movie.
1-on-1.
Ryan is named.
Fight for
Question
glory.
about the beholder.
Yes.
It didn't notice you at all.
Not that
With all those eyes, it didn't see you.
we didn't stay long.
I suppose if it
Was
did,
it facing
it'd be
away?
here now.
It was facing away, and maybe one stalk was facing our direction. But I would have expected, to be disintegrated or something if it had.
All right,
So
here's
far,
what we do.
whatever's beyond the door doesn't know that we're here yet. The beholder may have an inclination that its peace has been disturbed. I say we deal with the beholder first. And that seems that leaving it behind us to potentially sneak up on us later is far more dangerous than whatever could be beyond this door.
Also, pile of arms and armor. Just saying.
I agree. I think there's nothing stronger than the element of surprise. So I say we sneak back down there as quietly as possible, and we hit it with everything we got before it even has a chance to turn around.
Wait, it's Nasher noted. Okay, okay. You said talk to it earlier. Where'd that go?
We could try talking to it. How would you plan on talking to a beholder?
Hey, we see you have problems with your neighbors. Tell us how to get rid of them, and we'll do it.
Okay, you talk to the beholder.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say no on that one.
Why are we considering talking to this thing?
Maybe it could tell us.
Well, they're very intelligent, or so I've read.
They're clever creatures.
So are dragons.
You bring up a very good point.
Well, we met a dragon before, and we didn't just outright attack it, did we?
Yeah, we did.
No, you ran.
Oh, you're talking about the other one.
The big one.
Oh.
The big white dragon.
Yes. No, we didn't really.
And then we
see
found
it.
an egg. We didn't attack the egg.
Well,
It's an egg.
that's a whole different story. It's besides the point.
Besides the point. I mean, I'm all for an ambush.
Ambush it is.
Okay, ambush. It appears.
Well, is everyone ready to hit it with all you got? Now, we can't miss on this one.
You're the only one who has not spoken.
I don't care.
Great.
I'm just thinking of if everything goes downhill, I'm leaving.
What?
Can you take us with you?
Yeah, I was trying to think of a word that if everything starts going downhill, that everyone groups around me so I can teleport us back.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
to
idea.
church. So I was trying to think of a word.
Always have an escape plan.
Duck.
Duck is a good one. I like
Chuck.
duck.
Yeah, Chuck.
How about goose?
What if we're fighting goose though?
Well,
Maybe we should have a keyword like, I don't know, Jenga.
I don't know what that is. Can't just make up words.
all right.
We'll
So
think of something
if
later
things go
What
to
about
crap,
flibbity flobbity goo?
it's a little long.
Everyone get around you. If you yell
How
that,
about
we
you
need
just
to get
says
to you.
Bryn Shander, and because you take us to Bryn Shander, no?
Yeah.
All right, he says Bryn Shander. We huddle around them and we get out of there as quick as we can.
Say, run away!
Okay, scream Fubar.
I rolled a 1 on remembering that.
All right, let's do it.
Finn looks at you with all the confidence of
wants
a
to
person.
I'm smiling.
After 3 years of the heroes not being together, none of them can come up with a solid safe word.
Do we have a way to sneak up? Like
Yes, like this.
like a pass without a trace?
Nor will
Do you have
attempt to
this? No.
tiptoe down the hall.
That was old
Stealth
Finn.
check.
That was.
You don't have disadvantage because you're Elven Cloak.
I know.
We're all stealthy.
9.
Are we rolling stealth?
Yo, yeah, it sounds like that's what you're doing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Insert Pink Panther music here.
Okay, so stealth checks 9,
22.
22,
Ash rolled a 10.
10, 16,
24 for Finn.
24. All right. So you guys begin making your way down the corridor, seemingly as quietly as you can. Some more quiet than others.
Njord is literally tiptoeing in full plate armor.
Chink, chink, chink. And you guys
Asher's behind him left.
find the archway that's there, and you can
You're slightly less.
you can hear the uttering of the mine, all together. Yes, all together. Mine.
All right. Well, as soon as I fire this fireball, everybody give it all you got.
Wait, Linus.
Seems sane.
Tell me something inspiring for 10 minutes.
I don't have time. But I can tell you that, hey, there's nobody I'd rather be here. I'm glad you're back, Orion, and I know that you are a valuable and powerful member of the Iron Wolves, and you are going to kill it with your perfect, precise shot. And I'll give you a Bardic Inspiration.
While he's doing that, I'm going to cast Bless on
It's a D10.
Ryan, Nasher, and Nord. First
All right.
That feels a little personal.
only 3.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it could have been any 3, and there's 4 of us here, and
What's that? It's a D.
4. When you make an attack roll or saving throw. You have a minute. Let's go.
Linus watches you cast that on his 3 friends, and then notices he's not glowing and writes something down in his notebook.
Nasher is going to channel the righteous fury of Tyr.
Yes.
Pull out both of his weapons, his longsword and hammer, and then just run into the room as fast as he can.
Okay.
Njord will be right beside him.
All right. Roll for initiative.
Leaping through the air.
I'm breaking over life.
That was old Finn.
Okay, Linus, what was your initiative?
17.
17. Njord?
18.
18. And
13.
Nasher, 13.
13.
13 for Orion.
5 for Finn.
5 for Finn. Okay,
That's
so
my +6.
Linus, you're up.
Wait. So it's like Linus tries to stop the guys from running in, because that's not really what he had envisioned. But as soon as he sees them going, he just kind of rolls his eyes and he casts Fireball at the beholder.
You
Assuming he's still there.
Yeah, so you just kind of lean around the corner and boom, release your fireball.
The 16.
Nasher before you is just a wall of flame. The flame kind of disappears, and the beholder's back is still to you. You can see eye stalks are turning. Okay, great.
And I want to remind you, with elemental, what is it called? Elemental Adept, I ignore resistance to fire damage.
Yes, that is true.
I'm not sure if that's relevant, but just to remind you.
Awesome. Okay, so next is, I think,
Wait, did the fireball hit?
yeah, there's a wall of fire. As the fire dissipates, Nasher, again, it was just this wall of fire before, and you can see the eye stalks are turning before
You didn't want to know the damage?
You don't, yeah. No,
You will roll damage.
Oh, okay, about to say. Let me see.
Sorry, I forgot about that. I forgot about damage.
Go to the next turn, and then
I thought you would tell me.
No damage.
31.
Okay, 31. Great, got it.
That's concerning.
Njord, you're up.
Didn't even care about the damage.
We should have talked to it.
Njord, however, is unconcerned. He sees an abomination before him, and he's going to charge forward.
Yes.
He is going to. Can I get within melee range of this thing floating above this?
Not quite.
Cool. Yeah, I will throw my hammer twice.
You throw your hammer. Make an attack roll.
Alrighty.
Need a +4.
Oh, yes. I get to roll the d4 with Bless. That is going to make it a 21 to hit.
The hammer spirals through the air, end over end, launches through, goes into the beholder's body, through the beholder's body, and returns to your hand.
Uh-oh.
As it returns to my hand, I want to make a perception check to see where the real beholder is.
Sure, go ahead and make a perception.
Because I feel like there's probably
Well,
one hiding right behind me.
I'll say this. For that kind of check, I would call that your action. So because what you're doing is you're at that point stopping and want to look around. I will have you spend your last attack as a perception to stop and look to see if you can see what would be around.
Okay.
Because normally using a skill check during action or during combat is your whole action to do, like make a perception check that way, and I'm very lenient with that. But for this one, I think because when you realize it goes through, you're like, oh, okay, so you kind of stop, and now you're looking around the room to get a better feel for it.
Okay. Okay. Yep. 18.
You don't see anything around. So what you see is just like the armory itself is here, and there are kind of other sub rooms that are around, but you don't see anything besides this massive beholder that's in front of you, or the beholder in front of you, which your hammer went through.
Brinchander.
I will then, as a bonus action, cast Shield of Faith.
Yeah.
And that will end my turn.
Okay. Nasher.
Nasher will, having seen this nonsense in front of him, will use Zealous Presence, and I will unleash a battle cry, and up to 10 creatures of my choice within 30 feet or 60 feet gain advantage on attack rolls and saving throws until the start of my next turn.
Okay. What do you call out? What is your battle cry?
He will cry out to Tyr, say, "Tyr, guide us and preserve us from this abomination."
Awesome.
He will hold his action to, because that was a bonus action, so he will hold his action to attack any beholder or anything hostile. Let's go with that.
Anything that's not a friend.
That is not a
Comes
friend
around the
that
corner.
appears in front of him or near him, close enough to attack. Can I move with my hold action, or is it just an action?
Yeah, you can move. So you use your action to hold your action, right? So your action is ready in action, right? And then you will ready something on a trigger.
Yeah.
Which would be, if you see a hostile creature, you will
I will
attack
assault
it.
Yes.
Sure. Within 5 feet of you, I guess?
Unless I can move, yes.
You can move.
So if I'm able to attack it.
I'm sorry. You're asking, can you move as part of your ready action?
Yes.
Not technically.
Okay, so if it's near enough to hit, I will hit it. If not, I will.
So
I will not be in the doorway.
Sure. You rush into the room, kind of near Nasher, or Nord, excuse me, and are ready to attack whatever comes close to you, if anything comes close to you.
Sure.
Orion.
Orion is very concerned that the hammer went through the boulder. Orion will he'll hold an action as well, but in this case, he will hold the action to cast Greater Invisibility.
Okay.
The trigger is effectively an attack coming his way, such as a ray or some sort of hostile spell.
That you can see.
Yes, obviously, if I can't see, yeah.
Okay.
But any effect coming, hostile effect coming at him.
Finn.
I'm just going to toll the dead.
Toll the dead, the thing?
Sure, why not? That's
Okay.
what I would do.
The bell rings out. There doesn't seem to be any effect.
Okay. I don't know if I can know that, but okay.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I just do it, and then I don't know if it actually does damage. Okay.
I think you would know. Linus.
I think we're good.
So everybody's kind of, so as you all are kind of standing in the room, there's like that sound, that like sort of bell that kind of rings out, and you pause. What do you do?
I'm going to take a defensive stance and just kind of look all around, kind of waiting for something to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Can I hold a fire bolt to fire at if I see a beholder?
Yeah, well, there is one. It's there.
If I see another beholder, that's not one that has been determined to be an illusion.
Yeah. Okay. So they're kind of looking around and waiting. You don't see anything come up from you. You do notice, however, that there is like a secondary level to this armory, it seems. There's some kind of higher portion as well, and you can sort of see a balcony that kind of goes up and around the area. Njord.
Njord will rush forward towards the illusion.
Okay.
And he will attack the pile of armor that it is above.
Huh.
Okay.
Don't ask me for a logical reason why. Njord has an 8 intelligence.
What's his wisdom?
Wisdom is high enough. It's like a...
You're battle-wise, so...
I'm battle-wise, but and that's the thing, is he's not going off of what he knows about
He's going off
beholders. He's going off of instinct. He's like, oh, something's hiding in the pile of
I
armor.
want you to make a dexterity saving throw, and you're rushing towards it. I'm going to have disadvantage.
You have a D4 of this. With a plus.
He just wants to hit something.
Really bad. Yeah, he just rushes forward.
7.
7. You guys watch as Njord runs forward and then disappears from view.
Ooh.
You fall, and you take
Ooh. Whoa.
8 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall into a pit.
Despair.
Okay. So I like disappear down into a pit.
Yeah, so you guys watch, and he just vanished to the floor.
Say a little prayer for
And you're in a pit. As you look around,
What does
in
the
this,
pit look like?
Yeah. So as you look around, this is some kind of crafted pit, it seems. And as you, no, excuse me. Yes, it is crafted, but as you look up, you can see the bottom. It's weird looking at an illusion from the other side, because what you could kind of see is like what is clearly like the pile of armor, and like you could see through it kind of towards the ceiling above. You could see the beholder that is there kind of looking down, but now that you even recognize it, it's kind of translucent in that way. But there's very clearly the whole, the pit itself is like the floor seems to kind of like curve in. So at one point it was solid floor, but now it's like curved down and in as though it maybe sunk down. And even around you are pieces of like some pieces of rubble, kind of around you that way as well.
How large is
But
the
you're in this pit that's like 30 feet deep, and it seems to be maybe 20 feet by 20. So it's a very large pit that you're in, and you can see there are tunnels that seem to go off in different directions as well.
As I I stand back up from having fallen down, and I first and foremost look around. Is there anything else around me in the pit?
Give me a perception check, sure.
Okay. It's not that bad. Alrighty, that is going to be a 24.
You seem to be alone. Don't give me that
I
look.
seem to be alone.
You seem to be
I
alone.
seem
You
to be
look
alone.
around and
It looks clear.
So you guys see me disappear into the pile and disappear through the floor, and you hear me thunk, and and then after a moment of gathering my bearings, I careful. There's a pit.
I'm assuming we're ending combat.
if you, sure. I mean, at that point, you guys kind of, if you want to end combat here, you can. Like, it's
I'm
up
not
to,
finding anything, apparently.
unless somebody had something in particular they really wanted to do at this moment with combat rounds up.
Okay, sigh.
Njord, are you okay? Where are you?
I'm fine.
Ay. What's...
Only hurt my pride.
How far down are you?
A grievous wound.
You need rope. Do we have rope? Oh, Ryan, get some rope.
I have rope.
How far down are you?
That helps you.
Hello, can you hear me? I'm just like standing near the pile and like kind of just like yelling at the pile.
Can you remove this?
I have a rope.
Njord,
No, Linus.
Yes, I think around. Is it 30 feet down?
oh damn, that's deep.
Yeah, that's a fall far.
Yep.
It's a fall far too.
Especially if you're holding an
those things.
axe or what do you? Yeah, a hammer. A hammer.
About 30 feet below the. It's an illusion. It's all an illusion.
Yeah, so you guys kind of examine the illusion cautiously now approaching, and now that you recognize it to be an illusion, you can see through it, and you can kind of look down, and you can sort of see Njord down there. He's a little hazy because he's behind what is like an illusionary floor. But you can definitely tell. I mean, you knew the beholder was an illusion, but now it's clear that the floor and the armor, the pile of armor that was there, is also an illusion, and this is some kind of sunken area. There's a very, and then there's these tunnels that sort of stretch out in different directions. The tunnels are very large. These are not just singular, like straight. These are like 30-foot wide tunnels, and there's like 3 of them that kind of stretch out into various different directions.
I'm thinking specifically back to the Netherese city. Do I recognize these tunnels as being anything like what the Tomb Tappers would have created?
Or the remnants.
It's definitely something that burrowed its way here.
Okay. So some creature has burrowed through the earth and causing this sunken place.
Yes. So part of what you could see that like part of the walls in this space that you're in is crafted. It has that stone, those stone blocks, but it's it's partially destroyed because again something seems to have burrowed its way through this area, and that's again pretty clear to you at this point. And it seems to have kind of come into an area that's crafted, and that maybe this room was at one point something, but has now been cleared out by whatever burrowed its way through.
While the rest of my companions are starting to figure out how to get a rope down to me while not falling in themselves and being careful around the illusion, I want to make sure I'm peering into these tunnels and making sure nothing's coming out of them. Do I see a reflection of anything with my lamplight as I raise it up and kind of peer into the tunnels?
Your perception check before was like a 20, I think.
Yeah, it was like a 24.
Yeah, we'll just keep that. The tunnels just seem to go on into darkness in every direction. There's nothing that you can see as you sort of strain your eyes and peer through. You don't see anything in particular. It's just these bizarre, long, large tunnels.
Is there anything that gives me an indication as to the nature of what may have created these? Again, we've encountered tomb tappers, we've encountered giant spiders.
Sure.
Anything that gives me an indication as to what kind of creature may have created these.
Give me an intelligence and nature.
I suck at those. And that wasn't that bad. 14.
The best you could figure, you've heard tales of this, but you've never seen one in your travels on the seas, as it were. You heard tales of things called worms that are basically big snake-like creatures that are known to burrow and that kind of thing. This is the best thing you could figure. It's not any kind of man-made thing. It doesn't look like it was. Even goblin tunnels are, there's a sense of they're shoddy, but there's a sense of order and whatever. I mean, these are just long, dark tunnels. Something very big came through here.
Alrighty. And you said there's 3 of these tunnels that go out from this area.
Mm-hmm. It does kind of remind you of the... Well, no, not really at all. I was going to say the Remoraz tunnels, but those were like ice things from the cave, so not really at all like that.
Finn's pulling out his 50 feet of rope.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have this.
Okay.
20 feet.
Yep, just going to hammer a pinion in the ground there that we've used many, many times.
Yeah, well, you guys
Trust.
anchor a rope and...
Your waist, tie around my waist, tie into you, and then we throw the other rope down.
Tie around everyone's waist. We'll just pull out. It's fine. Let's pull.
You said there were tunnels.
Not my problem up here. I'm not going down there. We have another hallway to take care of.
Kind of want to check out the tunnels.
Wait, we're exploring tunnels, but we know the evil thing is up here through doors.
You don't know anything.
No,
Linus smelled it with his old man nose.
with his whole.
It's true.
Hey, watch it.
Hey, it's fair though.
But he found a percolating putrescence. Aren't we going to investigate that?
The hell
The
did you
front
just
door, it seems not very tactical. Throwing the rope over.
Yeah, you can climb out with the rope is easy.
Yeah.
Nord, yeah.
Climb hand over hand and get up out of the...
Did you remember your hammer?
Yes.
Dang it.
Gotta go
Funny
back
if you
down.
forgot it.
Yeah. Shit, I knew I forgot something.
Just like chuck it up.
It comes back to my hand. It's like I took it up and just goes back down. Damn it!
Oh yeah.
That's true, I forgot about that. That would make using it that way would be kind of funny. Okay, so you guys are in this armory. There's this illusion here of a beholder apparently over some kind of, or over an illusionary floor with a pile of illusionary armor. And then down below are these long tunnels, not to mention the other corridors and the big doors that you saw in the central grand hall that you found here. You have many options, like many options available to you.
Is
Do we
the
still-
illusion... Yep, go ahead.
Do we still hear the voices? You said we heard
You
like,
can. The voice, you recognize it now. It's part of the illusion, but you can still hear
Oh,
those
it's part of
voices.
the
Mine.
illusion.
This is mine. This is where this goes.
Is the illusion... It's intentionally obscuring the floor that's fallen in?
It's clear to you that this was a trap. Whether or not... Yeah, it's clear to you that someone had laid this illusion as part of a trap.
Okay.
I'm freaking over these illusions.
Another reason not to explore the tunnels is the trap was covering them.
Yeah, but it...
Well, what would burrow like that, but then also cover its tracks with such?
I'm assuming he would
Specific-
fall in, and then that would feed the thing. That's
My assumption would be that the beholder would scare anyone away that would come anywhere near the hole in the floor, so that you would never get a chance to find out that there were tunnels.
I mean, that makes sense, but I mean, any kind of monster that I would see that would burrow like that wouldn't have the ability to cast magic of this level.
I was able to look at the tunnels in a little bit more detail. I think they might have been created by worms. Not like small worms.
Magical worms that are casting beholders?
No, but I think it might be disconnected. I think that there was at one point burrowing giant worms through the ground that caused for this sinkhole. And then someone else who came along afterwards saw this as a grand opportunity to set up a trap for anyone who might be an interloper and created the illusion. First and foremost, to scare anyone away with a beholder. Second of all, if they decided to actually attack the beholder like we did and charge headlong towards it, they would end up down below, trapped, potentially.
You're talking worm like the worst version of a dragon?
Yes, the kind that burrows through the earth.
Like the ones that don't have the 4 legs, they just have the 2 legs.
There's no,
wings.
no. There's no. Those are wyverns.
Oh, I thought those were worms.
No. Worms. These. I've only heard of them in passing during my time along the Sword Coast. Before coming back to Icewind Dale, I heard rumors of things that could burrow beneath the earth, giant creatures that ate away at rock and stone and clay and just made their way through the earth, just in their own passing.
Right,
Some never really intentionally malevolent, unless bound to some other higher power. But
So stuff we don't want to mess with, right?
a giant beast of some importance and strength, but nothing we necessarily need to go after. I think the burbling putrescence that Orion talked about sounds like something that this might have been distracting us from.
Yeah, I'm wondering, I mean, our working theory here is that the mind flayers have moved into this ancient civilization, and this could just be a relic of the past, having nothing to do with the mind flayer inhabitants. So I say we go back to those double doors where we could smell the mind flayers and see what the new tenants might be cooking up in there.
You okay with that, Asher?
Well, my only disagreement would be that most of the areas the mind flayers were inhabiting were covered with whatever goo that they like to cover the area with, and this seems to be entirely stone hewn and natural as it was when it was first placed, not corrupted by the mind flayer's presence.
True.
So we
With
have,
that being said, if that's what the party wants to do,
so we have
let us
like
away.
1 room left. Maybe there's magic there.
Specifically, this area isn't covered in that. If we find a place that is, then we know that the mind flayers have made a presence there. We know that the mind flayers moved in and that they've delved deeper than just where they were before.
we have to find out mind flayers in this part of the tunnels, but if we go through those doors, we may find them there.
True.
So
Let's go. It's a joke.
So you guys are heading back down towards the grand hall. Okay. You make your way down the corridor towards the grand hall, where you can find the large stone doors. Being anything that leads further into this fortress.
All right, this time we're going to be coordinated if there's anything in there. We're going to fire everything we got, and if you guys want to charge in after the fact, you can, but not a second sooner.
Me and Nash are kicking the door.
we look towards each other, nod, and then kick the door.
As you, so they're big. They're big stone doors. So rather, I guess by kicking the door, you mean like push the door open.
Yeah, we'll push the door.
or kick it. Go roll a strength. Go for it. Just
You know what? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Kicking the door.
kick down the other. That's right.
Okay. It's going to be 21.
19. Okay, well, look, with the strength of two men, 4 men maybe, you both kick the doors with enough force that the doors begin to slide open. Inside, you're met with what is a very, very bizarre sight. Down at the end of the corridor is what catches your eye immediately is something that should not exist outside of a skull and should not be as big as it is. There is before you a brain, a large brain. It has black spikes that seem to kind of protrude from the center of itself, and is sort of almost floating in the air with large red tendrils that sort of stretch away from the base of its cerebellum. Is that the right thing? It's a part of a brain. I don't know what part it is. From the base of the brain itself are these
nice big word.
Red tendrils.
Great, I like it.
There is, you can see, up on the right and the left are 2 platforms or kind of balconies that sort of stretch across. This was apparently some kind of meeting hall of some sort, and you can see seats kind of peppered around up there, stone seats that are sort of that are peppered along the top, not peppered, but lining the top on these balconies there. And as you look up, you can see several mind flayers that are standing along these balconies. All of which are looking at you.
When you say several,
Give me a number.
4.
it's a manageable amount.
On either side of the massive brain are 2 inbuilt, you can see doorways that go up to, that would seem to lead up to the balcony areas. Like inbuilt towers into the area itself.
Like
Like
this.
the map in front of us.
Huh.
Oh yeah, I guess it would, because you have the thing.
I don't know. I just want to be picked.
It's not a good thing.
You're like, take me, take me.
Trying to keep
I don't care what it is. I want it to happen to me.
Linus, you hear a voice in your head. Hold, or we will kill you.
All right, boys, get it with everything you got.
Okay.
Alrighty.
That
They
might...
killed my owl bear. Or Buzak.
I told you, this is his John Wick moment.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, that might be as good a place as any to stop for tonight, lest we get into a big old fight.
Oh, it's 10:30. What the
It
heck?
is 10:30, so we don't want